Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another episode. In this tutorial we shall learn how to model foundations. There are different kinds of foundations. A strip footing, mainly for supporting a line load, a plinth wall or columns that are closed space. Then there's also an isolated footing. This is for supporting point load, like a single column. If there are two columns, we would combine them. There are many reasons why an engineer would choose a raft. I'll not dive into that much. Piles, I'll not handle piles in this course. I'll have a separate video on piles. Let me open my elevations here. We had the ground first and the ring beam level. I would want to create another level here for the foundation. So we come to structure. Select the level tool, click the start and the end. Then you can adjust the height here. If you click the level, you see this distance here. You can adjust it to, let's say, 2.5 meters. Like that. Then rename this to foundation level. Like that. I want all these columns to move to this level, so I'll come back to first floor, then select all the columns. When you're making a selection like we've been studying and seeing in other tutorials, you click one end of the drawing area, hold down the mouse, and draw a rectangle and release. Filter, check none and select whatever I want to be highlighted, like that. So I want to take this to the foundation level. In the properties palette, you see that base level is ground floor. So I'll change this to foundation level. So when I go to the north elevation, you'll notice that they've all moved like that and they are still selected. So I'll come here and switch to the foundation level. I would like you to notice that we don't have grids here. So if this happens that grids are showing other levels but not in a particular one, you go to any of those levels of plans where the grids are showing, select all of them. By now you are familiar with what I'm doing. Then after selection, right click and choose maximize 3D extents, like that. So when you go back to the foundation level, now they are indicated. And notice that if I move this grid to the left or right or whichever, it appears on the other levels. It's not like in AutoCAD where if you move a grid on one floor, you have to redo it on all others. So to place an isolated footing, you come here to this tool here, click, and on the right here, I want to bring your attention to this option at grids. We've been seeing this option throughout the previous tutorials where we're placing columns and beams. So when you click this, it actually, what it will do is to create the footings at all grid intersections. So when you draw your selection box like that, that's what happens. Let me undo that. There's an option to edit the type you're going to use. Let me say I want to use a square footing. I'll come to edit type, then duplicate. This time around I want to use 2 meters by 2 meters by 500. So after renaming it like that, or duplicating it like that, come here and edit the parameters. 500, 2000, 2000, and press OK. Now when I click, for example, at a column like that, it's now a square footing. Then the level, notice that we are placing it at this level. offset, I don't have an offset. You can change these to your preferences. Then also move with grid. This also works like the way we were dealing with columns, whereby if I move this grid, the footing and the column will move along. Notice? However, if I moved this footing alone, it will move along. Get the difference? So I'll undo like that. You can also place at all columns, whereby, let me click this and create similar. We chose at grids. Now let me illustrate with at columns. It's the same thing as almost the other. Just put a box around all columns you want. Now I've not yet pressed finish, so I can hold down my Ctrl key and draw another selection box for these remaining columns like that. Okay, I could also place a strip footing. You have to manually specify the length and width of that strip footing, if at all you're working with columns. For example, if I have a line of columns here that are closely spaced, let me say I have let me use these very ones, create similar. Then like that. Then I cannot come here and select this. What I can do is get this and copy it here and constrain it like that. For some reason it's not appearing. Let me switch to 3D to see why it's not appearing. Oh, you can see that my columns that I'm copying moved to a wrong level. So select all these, then edit here. The base is negative 2.5 meters, so I'll change that to 0. Then the top level, okay, let me adjust the top level first. Top level to first floor, and this is 0. It's okay. Now when you come to foundation level, it is visible. I was saying that this one you can manually adjust the length and width of this footing if at all you want a strip when dealing with columns. How do you do that? Let me say I want an offset of 1 meter. This side, this side, this side, and this side. Let me first draw a box around the columns. So we shall come to annotate detail line. Then I'm going to select this tool of pick lines. Or I can actually use this, but let me select this to pick the edges so that I can define the offsets. So I say pick lines, click this. Then before I pick a line, I come here to offset and specify the offset I was talking about of 1 meter. Get it? So I click align edge, just hover over an edge, and you see that blue line right up here. It shows you a preview of where the line will be. So I click there, then I click this edge here. Make sure before you click, the preview is in the right direction, like that. Even here, like that, and here. Then use trim and extend. So on your keyboard it is TR. This and this, this and this, this and this, this and this. So when you select this line, it shows you that our strip will be 2.4. Then when you select this one, it will be 11.8. So you come and edit this one, edit type, duplicate, make note here that it has to be duplicate. We said it was 2.4, and this was 11.8, which is 11,800. Okay, then change the width to 2.4, 11.8, and click OK or apply, whichever. Now the orientation is the other side. So what do? You alter the orientation. Select it and press the space bar like that. Or you can rotate it, whichever. But the space bar is the easiest. You can see how we play around with it. Then I'm going to align this edge and this. So I'll say align. Select the reference. This is the reference, not this. The reference, which is the detail line I drawn, then the edge of the strip, like so. And you get what you want. Then I can delete the line. Now it's hard to select the line, but it is there. So when you hover over this edge like this, it shows you what you're hovering over. If I press the tab key, it has now changed. It is a chain of lines or walls. If I press again, now it is showing that structure foundations. So before you click, you can first point and Revit will tell you what you're pointing at. So I want to point at the lines. What I'll do is press the tab key again, like that. Wait a bit, like that. Now I'm hovering over a detail line. Then I click the line. I press the tab key to select all of them, like that. Then I press delete. So the lines are no longer there. However, if I want a strip footing for a wall, I need to draw the wall first. So I'll come to structure, then under walls, select the structure wall. These are the same options like for columns and beams. We've gone through them, how to use them. So I'll quickly go through them. Depth, you notice that here we shall have to use height. Why? It's because there's no level below the foundation. This is our last one. So we have to choose height. Wait a minute. Height. Then this, we shall change this to, I want my walls to go up to the ground. Then the location line is I want to do a center line. There are many, if you are to choose any of these others, it means when you're drawing your 2 points to not be at the center line of the wall. I want it as a chain because I don't want to always come back and click the last point I clicked. I want no offset because I want it on at the center line. Then join status, allow. Then when you come to these drawing options, they're the same as those we have been using. So I'll not go through this again. Here I can select which kind of wall I want to use. I think 200 will be fine for me. If you come edit type, you can choose the parameters. I'm going to go through this after I've drawn the lines. Location line, we have seen it here. The base constraint, we are drawing it at the foundation level. I don't want an offset from the foundation level. Top constraint is ground, which is selected here. No offset. You can edit it the way you want, and I'll leave the rest as the way they are. So I click one point to the other, like that, and like this. Then like that, like that, like that. Then I can simply copy this one from this grid to that one. Then also notice that see if there's any error. I think it is okay now. We are going to clean up this drawing in the later tutorials, don't worry. Let me also remove these columns. These are for illustration purposes. Yes, now the walls are drawn. To place the strip footing, you come to this tool here, click it, and before we place the strip footings, I want to take you through the properties. Now, under this, you can select whether it is retaining or bearing. Here, there is select multiple, where we shall select multiple walls on which we want to put our strip footing. So when you click this and draw a window, section window, and press finish, the retaining footing has been inserted. Let me draw a section here so that you can see what it looks like in section. It looks like this. This is a retaining section. It has a toe and a heel. The toe length is 300, meaning the distance from here, this edge, to the edge of this wall is 300. Then the distance from this edge to this edge is 600. Now this total length is not specified here, it comes automatically. To prove that, I can simply put a dimension here for you so that you can see what I'm saying. This dimension at the bottom comes automatically. Escape multiple times and edit this, as you can see. Okay, if at all I want it to be 200 on both sides, you can see how it changes. Even the length changes, total length changes automatically because our wall here was 200. If I take it back to 300 and let's use 500 this time around, you can see. Now I don't like to use the retaining footing, so I will come here to the bearing footing. Now for bearing footing, you don't specify the toe and the heel, you only specify the thickness and the total length. I want my thickness, a width to be, let me say 600, and the thickness 200. Okay, you can see it has now placed it at the center line of the wall. Let's go back and edit this. First of all, I want to look organized, so I'll just rename this to strip footing. 600 by 200. Yes, okay. Notice that I renamed it, I didn't duplicate, so there are still only two. Then I'll click OK. Now let's go back to the foundation level. I think I no longer need this section. Let's say we have this wall. I noticed that we only edited this strip footing, but the rest are still retaining. Let me change them all. So I click on one, right click, select all instances in view. Notice that this one is not selected. Then change it to strip footing. Notice that if I pull or stretch this wall this side, the strip footing goes along with it. And then also, if I want kind of an extension of this footing like this, without this wall coming exactly to the edge, there's an option for that under the settings. When you click this and come to edit type, it is this default end extension length. I'll choose 200. Then it will apply in instances where the wall comes out like that. Now, how about if you want, if you have two columns here, and illustrate something here. Let's say this column is also here, very close to this one, and there is another one here. Now they are not visible because the column and the wall are the same width. So let me change all columns to 300. So I'll select all of them in the project and change them to this one, like that. Now I want you to insert a combined footing as an assignment for this tutorial. Combined footing for these two, this and this. You can say that you'll have an offset of the column on all sides of, let me say, 1 meter on all sides. So that's up to you. I want also to illustrate how we model rafts. A raft is basically a slab, but a thicker slab carrying columns. So you just see, it's exactly what we have been doing in the previous tutorial, but you put it at a different level. You don't put it at the first or second level, but you put it at the foundation level. Simply you come here to slab. Wait a minute, let me first copy all these columns. Let's say all columns in view, then copy them here like this, just for illustration purposes. Simply come to slab, then pull down to a thicker slab that you want, foundation slab, or edit type, and duplicate to one that is looks like it's a raft. Let me say 750 millimeters. Come here to the structure and edit 750. Press OK. Okay. There are many tools here. We went through some of them last time. I'll use an offset. You can draw a line or pick lines. Now, when we were drawing, when I was illustrating this strip here, I picked lines. But this time around, I think I should use this one so that you see the difference. So when you select this tool, choose an offset. How far do you want the raft to extend off the edge of the columns? Let me say I want 1.5 meters. What I'll do is I'll come here, click this corner like that. Now you see where it's being drawn. If you want to be this other side, as you're moving your mouse, you press the space bar like that, so it will flip this line. Then you extend and click somewhere here, then exit, that is escape, then click again in this corner like that, escape, click that corner, escape, click this corner. You can decide not to press escape, you only and just click the exact corners like that. And when you do that, notice that it cleans up here, because now see I'm starting here, but when I finish here it will clean up this corner like that. Then use trim and extend to finish up the edges like that. That will be your raft. Then you can put reinforcements, you can detail it. So that's how you do a raft in Revit. I think that is it for this tutorial. this is how far we have gone with modeling. I know I may not have gone in detail on many of these things on how to use them. After we've covered the other topics like view templates, how to clean up this model to make it look presentable depending on the standards of your company or standards of your country. After we've gone through that and annotated the layouts and sections with dimensions and texts and tags, then we'll put our reinforcements, and that's when we shall have an example of a project, and I'll take you through step by step using all these tools we have done. Then you'll appreciate what we have been learning throughout these tutorials. I'll see you in the next tutorial. In the next tutorial, we shall handle view templates. Thank you for listening.